Radiant team ban. Dire team pick.
Welcome back. Immortals versus Dire, game number 2, where the Dire currently up 1 game in this best of 3 grand finals, the North American qualifier. Winner of this does go to Bucharest for the PGL Open. Minor. I don't know how to fit minor in that tournament name, but something. Eosin, what's up?
I got nothing for you.
You're supposed to save me, dude. Like, that's the entire point. When my mouth starts rambling off and my brain can't fucking keep up, you're supposed to be there to catch me, dude.
I'm sorry, man. I was too focused on seeing the Dire finally on the Dire.
Oh, thank God. oh, Statsman Grant is everything I ever wanted in life. All right, Eosin. First pick, Earthshaker.
I mean, why not, right? It's so good. Has anyone been playing mid Earthshaker at all?
Dire team pick.
That's a hype. Thank you, Grant.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Support, mid, safe lane. Was there a Mason Jakiro?
I remember seeing a Mason Jakiro. That's what I remember seeing.
Statsman Grant?
We lost him.
He's doing the research. He's putting the numbers in, you know, he's cracking the code. Dazzle, second pickup now for the Dire.
What?
10 seconds remaining.
So this Dazzle pickup, I think I kind of have the same issue
5 seconds
with
remaining.
the Earthshaker against the Night Stalker. It kind of makes it really difficult to position yourself in team fights, because if you get spotted out by a Night Stalker, you're probably gonna get focused down first.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. Why did they pick up Dazzle? It's not like it's facing up against like the Necrophos or something like that. I don't like, for example, the damage over time that kind of lingers from the Jakiro. You know, I feel like the Shalgrave isn't the most effective save.
Dire team
they must have
ban.
something
Radiant
specific
team ban.
in mind to really work with this Dazzle, or maybe PBD just really likes it as a 5th position.
I think it's kind of like a mind game type of thing. Like you give your opponents the idea that you could potentially pick up Huskar, for example.
Yeah, gotta ban out that Huskar or something.
Remaining.
I was about to say, because I don't think it's even the... remember that meta back when, was it OG Frankfurt Major? Right? And back then, Dazzle was picked up quite a bit. And he was by far the best saving hero in that meta. Now, you actually are seeing Oracle be a very successful save hero. So it's not even like you could say, oh, well, it's the best defensive hero you can get. You know, so grabbing it like this and not having an obvious answer as to why kind of piques my interest into this draft that's coming up. Immortals are going to ban away the Chaos Knight, though. They're not going to let Dire have that one. And I was going to say, maybe the solution to this riddle lies somewhere in the minus armor that comes in.
Yeah, I think it could be. There could be multiple reasons to it. One being, you know, placing the idea of a Huskar, and then on top of that, they might just have good synergy with their upcoming picks. You know, they might be going for some type of push
10
strat, for
seconds
example,
remaining.
and that weave is always very useful when you use it defensively rather than
5
offensively.
seconds remaining.
But I think the next couple of picks will kind of tell the story for us. So we'll just have to wait and see. Ooh, a face is full.
That's a nice combination with the Jakiro.
It's an old one, but it's one that I like seeing.
Yo, chat's hooking me up faster than you did, Grant.
10 seconds
So somebody
remaining.
said CCNC ES was versus a DK, right? Which,
5
again, I think
seconds
the only time you
remaining.
can run mid Earthshaker right now is if you know you have a melee matchup mid. Ember Spirit or DK or something. He said his Jakiro was versus a Visage. That's right. Because I thought maybe it would actually do pretty well against them.
That's like because the damage over time removes the armor, right?
Yeah, I think so. So the you're saying the liquid fire, or not the liquid fire, but the dual breath, it doesn't remove the armor, Grant? How much damage does it have to be? I mean,
dude.
I just trusted you, Grant. You said I was
you're the
incorrect
stats man.
with such fervor. I have a feeling it was brought to you by some other beverage. Death Prophet, third pick, and Ancient Apparition going to be the fourth pickup now from Immortals. Immortals certainly going for a wombo combo of sorts with the Faceless Void leading over the Chronosphere, a Jakiro over the top, which, by the way, now puts our Jakiro as a core, whether it's mid, off lane,
10
safe lane, will
remaining.
yet to be determined. But they've got Jakiro's damage,
5
Ancient Apparition,
seconds
Ice
remaining.
Blast, all inside a Chronosphere. I feel like Death Prophet's going to need more than just a little dazzle save here.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same as Oracle Death Prophet combo, but at least the weave synergy is there, right? If you lower the armor, I mean, Death Prophet is going to go ham as long as you can survive.
So, from my perspective, Dire either have to have like very aggressive initiation, which is hard to do because you know the vision advantage is to the way of Immortals. Or
Radiant team
you
back.
get another carry that really is able, like, you just kind of ignore the Death Prophet in a way, and like another hero is your true hard carry, which it looks like that is going to be their answer with the Animage picked up. Fourth pick, though. It's a fourth pick up Animage. Is Animage so good here that they were afraid of it being
10
banned,
seconds
or
remaining.
do you think that like their off lane is that special that they're going to save
5
it for last
seconds
pick?
remaining.
What's with this?
I'm kind of surprised too. Maybe they don't expect it to be a one position void, perhaps. I mean, it has to be, right? There's no way.
Yeah, I haven't seen off lane voids. It's not regularly in a long time. All the voids that I've been seeing have been safe lane.
Oh, I'm kind of surprised too. I mean, on paper, one of the best counters here would be the Bloodseeker, right? And that's definitely a QO hero. And it wouldn't be bad with the synergy that they have right now.
10 seconds remaining.
Maybe you
5
just
seconds
go ham for
remaining.
5 seconds with that Dazzle Grave.
So they ban away the Furion from Immortals, which would definitely be one of those heroes that kind of prolongs the game. I think you want to be able to split push as much as possible, and you've already got the Animage to do, which is by far one of the best split pushing carries out there. What else could really give you that kind of push and pull where you've got an Animage being able to quickly push out one wave, you got another core pushing out another wave, where you can't,
10
you
seconds
feel like
remaining.
you can't get that setup for the big Chronosphere and the big 5-on-5 team fight that you
5
want.
seconds remaining.
That's a tough one.
Radiant team.
Maybe they go back to
pick.
Underworld.
Whoa, that's actually the opposite. I mean, it's a little split pushy, but it's actually more of a fighting hero. They're going to try and play 4 versus 5 Dota.
All right. I guess they want to counter the vision game with their own somewhat
10
of a vision
seconds
hero.
remaining.
I mean, Clockwork. You can get a lot of work done with just a Rocket Flare. Gives you a lot of information.
5 seconds
Might be enough
remaining.
for the Dire.
And Does this our Clockwork is now going to be a 4 position and Earthshaker off lane, right?
It might. Can it not be a Clockwork 3 and then a Earthshaker 4?
I feel like against Void, especially since Void is such an integral part of the lineup for Immortals, Earthshaker is so much better in that he has that big, long duration lockdown, you know, where you're able to jump on the Void, blow him up. Clockwork can't really provide that for you. In fact, quite the opposite, right? He's got some very clear holes that Void can get out of. Oh, no.
Misery is on the Earthshaker.
Right.
No, because the way I see it is that Earthshaker is going to be able to accomplish more as a roaming support rather than a Clockwork, because Fissure is just that much better than, you know, having to walk up and then Cog or Battery Assault. And and honestly, if you're able to initiate with a Clockwork, it's long enough of a disable to actually follow up with, let's say, a Fissure, for example, or a Fissure into a Silence, or if Earthshaker has the Blink Dagger, you can even blink in an Echo to follow up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what they're going for. I definitely prefer their Clockwork as well in terms of just pressuring MP in the lane overall. I think it's a little easier to pressure as a Clockwork rather than an Earthshaker. Earthshaker, you can't really do too much unless it's like 1v1.
Yeah. Well,
then I just look dumb. Well, I don't think I'll look dumb. Okay, you got a theory craft in Dota. That's what Dota's all about.
You will have learned an important life lesson, which is always agree with me, Eosin. No, you're right. You're right, Eosin. That is exactly what they're gonna do. So I actually want you to go into the idea of the Clockwork being better for the off lane. Like, what do you mean by that? Do you like is it the cog burn against the Void that you like, or what is it?
I think it's a couple of things. Cog burn being one of them. Also, the fact that it's a little more safe. I think if you get caught out as an Earthshaker, it's not exactly the same. If you get caught out as a Clockwork, you do have a better defense mechanism, so you're not as likely to feed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard for Void to ever like offensively jump on you as Clockwork, right? Because obviously the battery assault is such a big punish.
Yeah, exactly. If you jump on an Earthshaker, it's whatever, right? He's gonna enchant totem and then maybe hit you once, walk away.
It is
30 seconds to battle.
What are our lanes here? So NP is going to be mid against CCNC. I thought it was what isn't it better for? Well, I guess you still can't jump Death Prophet no matter what because of Spirit Siphon. So MP with the escape mechanism of Time Walk is better.
It looks like that's the idea behind it. They want to, you know, if you get Spirit Siphon as a PA, you're not always going to have the creep sitting at a distance where you can blink to. Oh, Zai's going to try to steal this. Not going to get it.
At least he gets a cog burn for it. Got him. And that is either way, right? Either safe lane hero is going to be pretty heavily affected by that cog burn. And Clockwork at least has some kill opportunity against this bottom lane, that's for sure. He catches the Ancient Apparition in the wrong place. Managed to get the Battery Assault cog. Meanwhile, top lane, we are going to have Immortals going to be running for Rev on the Jakiro, the off-lane Jakiro, the legend that we saw on, what was it, Tuesday? Eosin, and Febby is going to be supporting him a little bit as the Night Stalker. Not going to be chilling out mid, because honestly, what can you do with that problem? Really nothing.
Ooh, top, what a block.
Yeah, and what a healing wave to be able to follow that one up. They got a decent amount of damage. They're just going to keep on going for Pycat because they don't really have an option otherwise. But the blink forward, he's going to be able to catch Febby and Misery. Okay.
Wait.
Pycat doesn't actually have a blink up, and Misery slowed down that he's not going to be in range of the Fissure, I don't think. He's too far out. Febby just kind of keeps running in a safe lane, so they just have to back up. That actually works out really well because that created a lot of space for Rev to be able to just deal with the creep wave. All right, cool. No first blood yet.
That looks so scary for for Immortals. I was almost for sure. I actually think they would have gotten the kill if they didn't try so hard to let Pycat get the last hit. I think that was what happened.
Void stopping that animation. Getting a couple more right clicks onto the animation. Meanwhile, MP with his 4-man shield seems to be doing all right. I mean, the Spirit Siphon, you really just can't pressure a Void very easily. Just because those Spirit Siphon charges are so precious and it's so easy for the Time Walk to undo it. Because you only got one Spirit Siphon to work with in first place, but that's usually the best time to pressure a Void because Time Walk is such a long cooldown. But as you start getting later and later, Time Walk just becomes an easy attribute. Ooh, an Invis rune for Zai.
Is he gonna find Dubu? Oh, he's gonna find them.
He's gonna go for it. Dubu gonna try and get himself out of the cogs. He is just locked on with a battery assault. It's not hitting the rage creep at all. Zai gets a little lucky, but to be honest, I think he had that kill. Otherwise, it was really the Invis rune that was the true luck.
I was I was watching Zai positioning himself for the cogs, and he actually runs into the trees, and there's a spot near the tower where he put down cogs to burn Kyo's mana. I thought that was actually a really sick play because Kyo actually can't pressure him because he has no mana.
Yeah. Normally you'd have that chilling touch with the dagger being thrown out, and they'd just be able to push that offlaner over and over again out of lane entirely. But here it's actually Zai who's doing all the pushing. Still pretty healthy, and he's actually only a minute and a half away from his shrine, so it doesn't look like he's going to have to leave his offlane at all.
Yeah, Clockwork's being very successful right now. But overall, it looks like Immortals winning the farming game. MP? He's in trouble.
MP already used his Time Walk, but Fisher not hitting definitely makes things a little bit harder. He got the block, but didn't actually get any extra damage in there, so MP's able to just kind of stand and fight. And he's got the extra tankiness now between the Magic Wand and now the Infused Rain Shot. Battling over runes, Pycat stays and fights Vevi for it. And to pick up both the Bounding Rune as well as drain him of all his mana.
I think with this kind of a start, Immortals are kind of okay with it. Definitely don't want Zai to have too good of a start. I think if Zai actually gets too much in this off lane, the pressure is going to come a little earlier for the Dire, and Immortals are going to fall behind because of it. But, I mean, at this rate, I think they'll reach this point where they should be able to take better team fights versus the Dire.
Right. Dude, this is such a suicidal game for a Clockwork. I'm looking at this now, right? And you have two cores you can't lock down easily inside of cogs, both PA and Void. You've got one core that you're super successful against in the Jakiro because his animations are so long. But if you don't get him, his abilities are actually incredibly good against you while you're in cogs. Hold up. Misery is going to be caught here by Febi and Dubu. Make a rotation towards the rune. We manage to get him. Brev is going to be chased down here in the top lane, completely out of mana, and will not go for the kill underneath the tier 1 tower. Shrine is up too, so Brev will be able to stay in lane with his phase boot.
Phase boost to Kiro.
There is going to be a Chronosphere nice and early. They're going to go for the cold feet here, lock on, but CC&T managed to get the Spirit Siphon in before the stun comes out, so this is not a kill that they can get. That's the thing. I think you have to put cold feet almost like preemptively on the Death Prophet. At the very least, you got to lay it out as soon as possible, because as soon as he gets Spirit Siphon, that kill is no longer possible. You got to chain those stuns perfectly.
I'm actually surprised they thought they could make that kill happen to begin with. I mean, Death Prophet is sitting at, well over 800 life. Febi finds a kill.
Yeah, Febi dies. Or, sorry, not Febi. PBD gets chased down by Febi here in the top lane.
This dueling has been very effective, I think.
Zai? Oh my goodness. Both him and QO. Below 50 HP. They'll both be able to get back, though, with safety. Paint it gold. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know, actually. Retired? I think that was a team with Solara, right? Just to tag on to Grant's story, Solara also
Radiant's top tower
stole
is
my
under
bed
attack.
from me once in Korea.
Jesus. Will
Yeah.
these atrocities not end? NP. Misery is trying to make a rotation behind him. They did manage to force the time walk, so maybe they can catch him underneath this tier 1 tower. Misery's going to tank it for CC&C. The last nuke. Oh, he canceled it. He stopped it for a moment, I'm pretty sure, and then he recasted it. And by the time he threw it out, NP was just slightly out of range, so not even the salve was canceled. PPD runs into Febby again. This guy is just
Bottom
not
lane.
getting any relief from this Night Stalker, but farther down, Zai's going to be gone. Does manage to get the cog. Backs away. Dagger goes out. No crit. Febby's going to try and finish him off, though. But they do have PPD here with the extra shallow grave. Dagger goes out again. They're going to go for the dive. Yep, QO makes the commitment. Zai still managed to live through that one and does manage to get himself in the trees. QO is going to run into the cogs. Now he's in serious trouble. Has to go for the TP out, but CC&C is here to finish him off with the Crypt Swarm. And the Spirit Siphon is actually PPD. Claims a kill.
That was so outplayed. That was some great plays from Zai as well as PPD. Really pushing their survival to the limits and baiting Kilo into that death.
And Febby's going to die too. Over the top lane, looks like Ferev's going to be caught. If this is the Fissure, yep, that is indeed the Fissure they wanted. So Pycat's just going to stay on top of them. Well, Ferev is actually super tanky, and they don't have level 6 yet on the enemy. He's so close to it. If he had it, that would definitely be a kill. But going to have to give up on it for now. Ferev is not actually going to leave lane because he's got Liquid Fire, so he doesn't really need mana. He does good amount of damage to the phase boost, and most importantly, NP is trying to come in with an Invis Room, try to go for a Chronosphere kill, and he's got Pycat. Misery stops the cast there from Ferev. They're still managing to get some damage out, but Pycat is able to get away. The first 2 Chronospheres of NP
Middle tower is under attack.
completely wasted, and they're still going to lose life here. Ferev's going to be caught by Zai with a hook shot. And MP is going to have to time walk himself out. They're not going to give chase, though.
Radiant
So,
structures
2 Chronospheres down, 0 kills netted. In fact, they actually lost a hero on this second go around. And then CC&C has used all this space to almost eat the whole entire tier 1 tower.
Dire's
This is
bottom
looking
tower
not so
under
great for
attack.
Immortals. I think they might be jumping the gun with
Radiant's
this
middle tower has fallen.
these Void Chronos. So right now, they really don't have any follow-up to it. Jakiro's Dual Breath is really all that's on the table right now. And Ancient Apparition not being at 6, and no macro power on Jakiro. I think it might have been better to just sit back on it and focus more on farming up on MP.
2-man smoke, Zai
Dire's
and
top
Misery.
tower is under attack.
Now, I'm sure their plan was something along the lines of force QO to make his jump out. Get him, but it looks like they're going to get Dubu instead. Dubu just trying to stay underneath the creep wave is the only way he can deal with his battery cell, especially with the cold feet. Now, onto Zai. He's going to throw the rocket out, though, to finish him off. So he ends up going down. Looks like QO forced to... Did he force the TP out, or did he run to mid already?
Not sure. Wasn't keeping an eye on him, but it's early game. I think like a lot of pressure was put on Anti-Mage, but looks like they're going to be okay with that trade, seeing as CC&C and Zai are doing very well in their lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Is that how it works? I didn't know about that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Neither did I. Yo, Grant, what? What?
Wilson never told me about this.
The hell? And also, why didn't Grant... Grant, why didn't you tell this story at Northern Arena? Grant's just coming up with bullshit on the spot. Top lane, CC&C.
Oh, Zai?
He's got a lot of heroes there. QO's going to be caught. Trying to jump to somebody, but he's only jumping into the enemy, so he's definitely not getting out of here. Zai's on a killing spree. This offlane Clockwork is doing work for them right now.
Top lane though, MP is gonna try
Are they
this again.
finally going to get a kill? They should, right? Ferev, with all his damage, is surely going to be enough to blow up CC&C. Zai actually comes in to try and help out his buddy, but may just end up giving him away his life in the process. Zai Trying to body block him a little bit, make sure that he's out of range with the battery assault on Thebby. Does get another earn charge. He is actually...
Can he counter earn?
Counter earn, there it is. Back over to bottom lane, Gubu. He's gonna be caught. He was just trying to get level 6. Oh god, that extra speed from Ice Vortex, good lord. Just started zooming.
Yeah, this has been the go-to build for a lot of AAs in CIS and EU. They like maxing out this Ice Vortex because it actually is... It turns you into a race car. It's so unexpected that it's actually not that easy to pick off AAs because of it.
Yeah, it turns that it is actually an escape mechanism, right? Which is pretty rare for many supports.
Dire are scanning. Dire's
It is so
middle
confusing,
tower is
though.
under attack.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Invisibility.
I got nothing, Enos, and that's all you, baby. Unless there's going to be a kill, in which case there is. CC&C got the Spirit Siphon off, though, and this is bad news for Immortals. They really got to make sure that they get these abilities off on the Death Prophet before she gets the Spirit Siphon off. Otherwise, the kill, the whole point is just move. Is I going to get the extra kill? Is he going to catch him? A hook shot. Oh, and he catches for Thebby. He helps him by knocking out one of the cogs, and there is a creep wave coming in as well, but Misery's here with a block. Oh, or not. Misery misses the block this time around with Fisher. That's going to be a decent Ice Blast. Won't kill anybody, but it'll feel good.
Always feels good. You gotta pad your stats as an AA. Your hero damage is always so underwhelming, so you gotta get it wherever you can.
Do you know if I'm sure it doesn't. When a hero dies from Shatter, it probably doesn't count as hero damage.
I don't think it counts.
GG. Unfair Ice Frog to Ancient Apparition players everywhere.
Yeah, when the fantasy points come around, it's not going to be as high because of that.
Mask of Madness for Phantom Assassin. This is also very easy Roche taking territory that we're getting into for Immortals, which is something that Dire do have to be a little bit concerned on if they ever lose a fight, or even just start losing enough ground on the map. I'm a little bit surprised Shakiro hasn't taken to like pushing down some of these other tier 1 towers like we saw him do last time, right? Like Forev just bullied down all the tier 1 towers in the first 15 minutes, but instead he's been kind of parked out in this top lane, which was formerly the Animatrix.
GPD get blown up here.
He's very dead. He's very dead, and so is this tier 1 mid tower. At about 15 minutes, same story. Kind of seeing where finally the tower is given up in exchange for some farms. CC&C will trade it out for the safe laner's tower.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top
Do you think
tower
they're actually
is
going to
under
go for
attack.
Roshan this early?
Oh, I think this is pretty risky. But they know Exorcism is down, which is probably a big part of the reason why they're going to go for this. They still have the danger of like Dazzle spotting them out with Weave and stuff, and then that gets you into a really awkward position where you got the minus armor taking you down. Yeah, they're gonna go for it. Dire is gonna try and contest here. Zai's already scouted him out. Here comes that Weave, and now here comes that awkward point. Zai's gonna already make his commitment though. Tries to jump in, MP gets out of it though. And the Chronosphere onto 3. They have the Macro Pyre on top of it as well. CC&C, the second target here as QO comes in, managed to get the Shallow Grave out. CC&C gets the Shrine Heal plus the Spirit Siphon. He may be okay. QO, can they pursue? They're not going to really be able to get him because the Yule Scepter back over there. They do manage to finish off Zai's Clockwork finally. Zai jumps in just a bit too early and isn't able to lock down a good hero with his Hogs. MP just kind of jumped right out of it and got a beautiful Chronosphere that makes up for the first 2.
Sustains.
Do you think it was their intention to kind of like, okay, if they don't come, we take Roshan, but if they do come, there's no way they're going to beat us with this kind of a setup?
Absolutely. I think they looked at it and said, we have Chronosphere, they don't have Exorcism. And that's just simple math right there, baby.
Not my strongest suit, but I can see the numbers.
1 is greater than 0.
I mean, to be fair though, that was, even if that was the case, MP hit a huge Chronosphere, so that helps a lot when your Chronosphere is going to be on top of 3 people.
Yo, can I get Sassman Grant to confirm that 1 is greater than 0? Maybe write up some sort of mathematical formula that proves it. Great. Thanks, Grant.
I can't wait for this stat.
Radiant's bottom tower
Dual
is
Scepter.
under attack.
Being built by the
Misery.
hero top lane. Misery's in big trouble. He was close to his Blink Dagger, too. You just keep on catching these supports. First it was Dubu at bottom lane trying to get his level 6. Now it's Misery trying to finish up his Blink Dagger. You just go for that extra bit of side lane farm. Get their hand caught in the cookie jar, old AC would say.
I like this build coming out of MP. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the map when he finishes it. Going to have that Shadow Blade. I think he's going to be strong enough to pretty much kill off anyone by himself with the help of AA Ice Blast. So Dire are going to... Dire are going to be sticking together for the most part, I would imagine, once they see that Shadow Blade come out.
It definitely seems like Shadow Blade is a necessity for Faceless Voids nowadays, because you really do need that extra attack speed, but at the same time, you need some way to make an initiation happen. Misery again, going for his Blink Dagger, same gold he was at before when he died. 1650. At least he's not going anywhere. At least he's not losing gold too much.
Feels bad when the enemy team knows that you're trying to finish your Blink Dagger.
Not a great moment for him. Immortals up by 2k at 18 minutes, 10-7. But the Animage is getting bigger. He's got a Battle Fury building into the Yasha now. So there are some things for Immortals to be concerned about, but I guess they still have the Faceless Void, even if this does get into full Animage territory. The Faceless Void has got to be one of the best counters.
Yeah, definitely. But you always have to keep in mind, there's a Death Prophet there, so if you don't chrono the Death Prophet, you get Grave on your anti-mage, and then Death Prophet just kind of runs circles around the chronosphere.
Oh, caught by the Ice Pass, slowed down a bit. Give him a Liquid Fire Splash for good damage. MP does get spotted by the rocket on the line. CC quick to follow that one up to prevent any sort of initiation. I never suggest defending this tower. It's definitely a doozy. Try and make a team fight out of, especially with no Blink Dagger on Misery. So I don't think Dire are ever going to really commit to a fight unless they see the beautiful opportunity. I think they're just trying to slow it down a bit while Animage farms. You can see our Faceless Void does make the TP Shadow Blade rotation, trying to catch Pycat, while at the same time they are going for this push. As they take that tower, Zai is able to look for an extra kill, but won't be able to get it because of the Force Staff grabbed by Fereb already. Febby does manage to spot the Animage, blinks the other direction though. They're hoping to sandwich him, but unable to catch a bite.
I think they'll be okay with this because he doesn't even have a TP, so wasting a lot of time here trying to just blink around to get to the shop. Oh, Misery, he's gonna get ganked again.
They're cutting Misery,
anyway.
No slack whatsoever. He's dead, Dubu. He's got a TP, but he'll so he doesn't even attempt it. But he'll gladly give up his life for a kill on Misery. Oh, courier down.
Has been killed.
Poor Misery. Probably would have finished his Blink Dagger about a minute or two ago if it wasn't for all these ganks targeting him.
And they desperately need this, right? They specifically drafted a lineup that could fight 4 versus 5 while the Animage farms. But it is so reliant on them having the initiation from the Earthshaker to jump on that Void and blow them up first thing. Because that's what their whole entire team fight of Immortals kind of revolves around.
I think they're still kind of okay with it, simply because even though they haven't been able to take successful fights 4v5, Bycat is still farming away. Still top net worth. Normally you would prefer your anti-mage to be even further ahead because of the Battle Fury, but I mean he's getting there at least.
Time is money.
Man, anti-mage, he's got so much to worry about if he finally does show up to team fights. Not only Chronosphere, Debbie's going to be caught here, Silence, unable to fly himself out of this tight spot. Dire will man to pick up a kill. But our Phantom Assassin with the Desolator, that is something Anti-Mage is also going to have to worry about when he finally does show up to fights. Ooh, MP. On the hunt here. Bot CCNC, who tried to go for a silence and something on Dubu. He's playing very aggressive, and MP was a little reluctant to take that fight, knowing that he didn't have the most backup in the world.
Well, Febby is actually very close to his scepter. Only about 1,000 off. Are we gonna be giving him the space for this? But I mean, Dire, they're grouped up for these. DBD get a smoke? Kind of just standing around here.
Okay, they're gonna catch Brev though. CCNC was able to spot him out. Good combos of silences and stuns to be able to bring him down, but Febby, maybe not. He is going to be caught by the hook shot and actually doesn't have flight, so he's not going to be able to just get himself out of those cogs quickly. They get 2 for that, with no smoke required and no Echo Slam used.
Yeah, very nicely done. And Pycat still farming away. They're having a lot of issues trying to find Pycat right now.
Quelling Blade and Battle Fury letting him quickly clean through the trees. He's playing the side map game. Pushed out of lane. Waits in the trees to see if anybody's going to show up. If he doesn't feel comfortable popping his head back out. TP somewhere else. And Immortals just been trying to give chase this whole entire time, and he is allowing Dire to find a lot in the meantime.
Incoming.
Yeah, MP is desperately trying to find use for his Chronosphere, but they just can't find an opening right now. Are we gonna have to wait for a Roshan?
Do you think this is the right way to approach the game? The way Immortals are putting so much on trying to catch the enemies? Or do you think their time would be better spent just taking the 4 versus 5 against Dire?
I'm starting to feel like it's better just to take the 4v5, simply because their team fight is actually pretty strong. I mean, eventually, if you keep winning 4v5s, you're gonna outscale this anti-mage, especially with a PA on your team.
Well, they may agree with you. I think especially since they have the BKB, that might have been part of it, right? You probably want a BKB on at least one of your cores before you take the 4 versus 5. Otherwise, it's just inherently risky because Dire's lineup is so good at being able to fight with these 4. They are going to run into... Oh my goodness!
It's okay. MP is still in this. But he's going to blink, like right now. Where is he going to blink is the real question. It's got to be left, right? Into the trees, towards mid lane.
Unless they're having a little powwow right now while this pause is happening. I'm not saying that's the intention, but it's naturally going to happen, right? You got to talk about the game. Feeling like nobody's on map. Start thinking about it a little bit. Maybe they're smoked. Highcat takes that opportunity to change his blink trajectory, not into the neutral camp, but maybe a little bit safer area. His shrine.
All right, let's make predictions on where he blinks. I mean, if he blinks right now, this Shadowblade Chronosphere is not going to land. Exactly, but I think
MP is close with the Chronosphere. Like he could actually throw it and just catch him on the edge, like right away.
All right, can we draw? I don't have $100 to spare.
That he gets caught by the Chronosphere. I'm definitely not taking this bet. I think he's
I wouldn't take this bet either.
What about 2-to-1 odds? Maybe not $100. Let's say $10. 2-to-1 odds.
Well, the original bet
you could take 10 from me and 10 from Grant.
The original bet I was proposing was to bet on where he was going to blink, not whether or not he would be caught.
We're just talking.
So I'm saying what I'm proposing is we pick a spot where he's going to be blinking.
I think after this little powwow, he's going to blink towards his team. I think he's actually going to turn towards his team.
Okay.
Blink down, decide that maybe they should fight. Because he's either got to... There's only two options, right? He either runs up further and blinks left or the cliff area for him to get faster to this topside camp area. But I think no matter what, you feel that's kind of unsafe to farm right now. I think he's going to blink towards... With this creep wave pushed in so much...
All right, he's gonna blink towards ancient. He's gonna blink towards enemy ancient.
Oh, he did blink.
He blinked down,
and he didn't get caught by the Chronos. You could have won $20 right there. Houston, come on.
I don't have the balls.
You didn't have the balls at all. Yeah, Peter. Oh my God, he just got crit and one slice from QO. Fisher block. Okay, Pykat's gonna keep blinking forward. QO. Oh no. He had the Mask of Madness up, so he can't actually jump. He wasn't able to manage to grab side, but they do grab Pycat. They manage to get Dual Scepter on him with the Ice Path, and a crit comes in from QO. He keeps on trucking, looks for more. Zai's already TP'd out. And Dire do indeed lose the Anti-Mage anyway.
Hey, technically, I would have lost that bet.
No, you would have won it. He didn't get caught in the Chronosphere. Wait, so Pykat's not going to die, and they're also going to destroy him. CC, is he? Spirit Siphon's turning things around pretty heavily. He's already full HP. I'm sorry, Grant, but it doesn't look like they're destroying shit. CC&C is stepping toe to them. QO, never mind. He rips them in half, and CC&C is now Ice Blast. You were right, Grant. You saw it all.
Grant is from there.
I never should have doubted you, Grant. Zai, he's going to go down as well. 4 dead with a triple kill on
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Your hair looks a little bit like Dog too, or your old hair too. That's his new Euro kind.
Wow, and just like
Roshan
that.
Time.
You know, we talked a lot about the Void combo and A Blast and Jakiro, but I don't think we talked enough about Kyo's PA. He is dishing out the damage.
Yep. Got that BKB, man. They smoked up. They were ready to fight. They knew. Dire, so unlikely to be able to win a fight against a 10-second BKB. And while that BKB didn't actually work out in that first engagement at bottom lane, yeah, he actually didn't need to use that last fight.
This is looking really scary for Pycat because he's pretty much on par with PA's farm. And I think if a PA is on par with an anti-mage, I mean, PA wins every single time.
Yeah. If they're equal farm. So they've actually got to get Pycat to that I destroy shit territory, which is kind of a butterfly at this point because he kind of needs that evasion against the Phantom Assassin. I really don't like their chances. Dire, their timing window feels so small. Because you start going too late game and Chronosphere just becomes too tough of a late game like team fighting ability to beat.
Yeah, and I think these Immortal supports are just gonna outscale the Dire supports as well. I mean, this Nightstalker Ags is just making life so difficult for them right now. Like, how do you find a way to start a fight against something like this?
What was his timing on this Aghanim Scepter?
I think he just picked it up right after they won that mid fight, I'm gonna assume. Because he was like 1,000 off before that.
Man, he is always on top of things when it comes to that timing. Ooh, big force staff over the cliff. Zai almost died. Just a smokable poke. Yes, Grant. That's it. Psych.
Dire's bottom
No, it's
tower
not.
is under
No,
attack.
it's not.
It's not an alliteration at all. QO has Aegis and BKB, so he jumps in and looks like they're going to be able to get CCNC too. He's ice blasted. Might actually take down here. QO up extra heroes. Nope, CCN does manage to survive. That's because of the Helm of Dom. Her Defiance action blocking that extra bit of magic damage. QO does lose his Aegis now. The Dire, meanwhile, have lost their supporting crew, and now they're tier 3 tower. Immortals just keep on going. That's going to be a lane of Rax. Pycat is just going all out on the pushing, because they don't feel comfortable taking this fight, especially with some of their heroes down. Misery's going to be caught by the urn. Febby spotted him out, but now he's going to be silenced up. Not hit by the Spirit Siphon, though. QO makes the commitment. Jumps in onto the Death Prophet, and another crit is all he needs. They're going to have to start forcing some buybacks and going big. They want to be able to stop this fight. Pycat has already forced 1 TP back. This is time to come in and try and clean up this fight. They got the Echo Slam onto QO, trying to finish off, but the ultimate gets the Night Stalker, and a right click will finish off that carry, but now he still has to deal with Big Bad MP, who finished off one of the supports, jumps himself away, re-Shadow Blades up, and resets. As Dire do manage to successfully push Immortals out of their base, but it's at the loss of a lane of Rax at bottom and a tier 3 at mid.
Well, that is gonna hurt Dire quite a bit, but Pycat does have that butterfly now. Do you think this is gonna be enough? I find it hard to believe it's gonna carry them in this game.
I think it's their most likely time to fight, because their Death Prophet is countered out so heavily by the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, and this is probably the best peak you're gonna have as Animage against a really long Phantom Assassin when she doesn't have an Abyssal Blade and doesn't have an MKB, and neither does the Faceless Void. I think this is your best time to at least take control of the map. And then maybe not necessarily go high ground. They do manage to get a Yule Scepter onto CCNC and set up, but Pycat immediately responds and moves forward onto Pereb, and almost finishes off with the ultimate. Has to jump into tier 3s where MP is going to be able to catch him now. Not getting any bashes though, because in part of the evasion for the butterfly. Pycat has to run himself away from QO though. Blink up in a second, Stifling Fear preventing him from being able to blink. QO gives up on that kill and will take the Clockwork instead, dismantling him. Goes for CCNC next. Dagger goes out. Spirit Siphon though onto QO, plus the silence. Not feeling comfortable going for that fight against the Exorcism that's already out. So Dire start backing away, but Immortals are going to keep tabs. Now that the Exorcism is down, QO will probably jump on whatever he can find here. Misery's going to get caught, bashed up. Whoa, no, okay, trying to get the invis off. That's not going to work. They have a gem. And CCNC still going to be caught by the dagger. Finally, QO is able to jump on top of them. CCNC does manage to get the Yule Scepter off on QO, plus the follow-up silence, but still will end up dying to QO. Diffuser Blade slows him down. 24-15, Immortals have just cleaned Dire up, not even losing their tier 2 tower, and will go high ground once again.
I think this might be enough to take a second lane of Rax. I am not sure this is going to be enough to hold against this Immortal lineup.
Middle barracks are under attack.
Earthshaker is back in 10 seconds with Echo Slam. They're gonna need a huge Echo Slam for this one.
Zai jumps in, force stats out. But QO is immediately able to jump back onto him. They do have a little bit of weave armor. That's not going to be able to save him, though. He just keeps on going. QO just won't stop. Pops his BKB. Now turns to fight Pycat with the Ice Blast coming in. Is going to be able to clip two with the Chronosphere on top of both of them. QO will sit outside of it and throw daggers until the Chronosphere ends out. Ice Blast over that one. He's going to be able to catch the enemy. A buyback only on him is left, plus PPD's Dazzle. Suspect, though, that is going to be game at Immortals to push this finals into a game 3.
Very nicely done by him. Immortals. They made it work despite that not so successful first couple of Chrono Spheres. I think once they had everything online and QO was able to farm his key items, I think the
Yeah, that